These patent milestones therefore strengthen our position as we continue to discuss with potential partners. I mentioned the dog studies across several therapeutic areas. While I cannot comment on ongoing confidential discussion at this stage, robust IP is an essential building block for creating long-term shareholder value.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Dr. Eric Leire. He's the CEO of Genflow Biosciences. Eric, very good to speak to you. Why is today's patent progress such an important milestone for Genflow?
Indeed, this announcement is important because it strengthens the intellectual property of the company, especially protecting our centenarian-derived SIRT6 platform, which is the foundation of all our therapeutic programs. There are really two developments. First, our US application covering the use of SIRT6 in MASH has now been published. Second, our foundation SIRT6 patent, composition of matter, which is exclusively licensed to Genflow, has been granted fast track 1 prioritized examination by the USPTO in the US. And that should significantly accelerate the review process. At the same time, the corresponding patent in Europe, the European application, is reaching the final stage before grant. So taken all together, those milestones continue to strengthen our IP protection around the technology across major pharmaceutical markets.
Why is the intellectual property so important for Genflow, Eric?
Oh, yes, you're right. In biotechnology, intellectual property is one of the company's most valuable assets. Our strategy is to build multiple layers of protections, not only around the SIRT6 variant itself, but also around specific disease application or method of delivery. That creates a much stronger competitive position and increase the effectiveness of the technology for potential licensing or commercial partnership.
And the impact of those patents on business development?
Yes. Strong intellectual property is a critical component of any business development discussion. Especially in the discussion we have, for example, with the dog clinical trials. The potential animal health partners want confidence that the underlying technology is well protected before making significant investment. These patent milestones therefore strengthen our position as we continue to discuss with potential partners. I mentioned the dog studies across several therapeutic areas. While I cannot comment on ongoing confidential discussion at this stage, robust IP is an essential building block for creating long-term shareholder value.
Can you give us an update on the dog clinical trial, Eric?
Certainly. The clinical trial itself has been completed, and we have been awaiting one of the key data sets, the determination of the biological age of the dogs, using DNA methylation analysis. This DNA methylation analysis is performed by UCLA, a spin-off of UCLA. This is a very important endpoint because it provides an objective measure of biological aging, complementing the clinical and functional assessments we've already performed. Unfortunately, the analysis was delayed due to a logistical issue. The laboratory in Los Angeles informed us that the assay plates required to perform the methylation analysis had not been delivered on schedule, preventing them to process our samples. But today, we're pleased to report that the labs has now received the necessary plates and has confirmed that our blood samples are currently being processed. So based on this latest information we've received, we now realistically expect to receive the methylation result by the end of August. Once we had that opportunity to analyze the complete data set, of course, we look forward to updating shareholders on these findings.
And what else should shareholders be watching out for the rest of the year, Eric?
Yes, the next several major milestones, there are several. We expect continued progress across our patent portfolio as we report today. We expect advancement of our MASH program toward the clinical development, further updates of our dog clinical trials. I mentioned the methylation clock, and also continue business development activities, not only with the dog, but also around the glaucoma program, which is going quite well. Collectively, these milestones are designed to build both scientific, but more importantly, commercial value for the company.
Well, Eric, I hope you'll keep us updated on progress across all of those programs. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Eric Leire, the CEO of Genflow Biosciences.